Hey everybody, this is Eric with Phone Scoop, and today I wanted to give you a quick video tour of the LG G4. The G4 is of course LG's flagship smartphone for 2015. It competes directly with devices such as the iPhone 6, Galaxy S6, and HTC One M9. The device has been updated significantly from the G3, which was last year's phone, but perhaps not as significantly as we might have liked. Here's what we think about the G4. To start, the G4 has a luscious screen, measures 5.5 inches across the diagonal, and has Quad HD resolution. LG uses in-plane switching LCD panels, and this particular panel simply looks fantastic. Because of the 5.5-inch screen, the G4 is a fairly large device. You can see how big it is in my hand. Despite the length and width of the device, it's somewhat thin. Not as thin as competing handsets, but it's at least a little bit thin, and it's helped a lot by this rounded profile on the back. You can see how the edges are tapered. This really helps reduce the overall footprint of the phone to something that's a little bit more manageable. The LG G4 offers controls that are on the back of the phone. There are no buttons on the left side or the right side. Instead, the volume buttons are here and the screen lock and power button is in the middle. These buttons feel pretty good. They have nice traveling feedback, and I've slowly gotten used to their positioning over the course of the last few weeks while using this phone. The phone has a 16 megapixel camera, which has laser assisted focus, a dual LED flash, and a wide aperture of f1.8. What that means is the G4 is really good at taking low light pictures because a lot more light gets into the sensor. The stereo headphone jack and USB port are on the bottom, and some people will be happy to know that the G4 has a removable rear cover. With the rear cover removed, you can pull the battery as well as change memory cards. The G4 supports memory cards up to 128 gigabytes, which is certainly something to appreciate. The internal memory is capped, by the way, at 32. Now the phone has 3 gigabytes of RAM and a Snapdragon 808 processor, which gives the phone a lot of power. I found it to be fast no matter what I was doing with the device. This does come at the expense of thermals though. I noticed the G4 got a little bit toasty when using applications such as the camera and video camera. Most of the time it remains fairly cool though. The device runs Android 5.1 Lollipop with LG's user interface on top, which you can sort of see here. We've got multiple home screen support, of course, the app drawer, and notification shade, all available there. The device also has Smart Bulletin, which shows your step count, your calendar, music you've played lately, and smart settings. The camera application is robust. What I really like is that it has 3 shooting modes: simple, auto, and manual. The auto mode is what most people will use, as it offers a nice balance of features. The manual mode does let you fully control all the features of the phone, though, phone's camera, which is really nice when you want to be creative and do some fun things. The settings tools can be shown in a single list like this or in tabs, and as always, they're grouped together in sections like this. The device supports dual window, so you can run 2 apps at the same time. It supports Easy Home for first-time Android users. Easy Home is a stripped-down version of the Android operating system. And it also runs LG's Q-Slide apps, which are minimized apps that run on the home screen in smaller windows. So the Q-Slide apps are limited to the phone, contacts, messaging, and browser. So there it is, a quick look at the LG G4, the company's flagship smartphone for 2015. Oh, by the way, you'll note that ours has a plastic rear shell, but the phone is also being offered with a leather rear shell. And personally, I prefer the leather. G4 is being sold by AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, Verizon Wireless, and US Cellular.